It is time that I talk. It is time that I speak. I know what I know. I know what I know. Alright, so now I'm thinking out loud. Okay, now I need to pretend as if there's not a camera there and I need to release my thoughts. I must release my thoughts. Release my thoughts. My powerful thoughts. Okay. So the first thing I need to talk about. Okay, let's think about something I just thought about. Silence. Silence is terrifying. Silence is frightening. Silence is calming, and silence is peaceful. Why is silence terrifying? Because you fear what could break the silence. Why is silence peaceful? Because there's nothing breaking it. But then if you think about what could break the silence, then it might become a little stressful. Alright? But then it's peaceful at the same time. So in of itself, see that? Made cheeseburger, he broke the silence. He scared me. He shocked me. He surprised me. Just kidding, I don't get surprised. Nothing surprises me. No surprises. Right? Now, again, back to thinking out loud. I need to say that this right here. I don't know if anyone will understand me. My own family doesn't understand me on this. Alright? I need to explain something to you. That's fine, Major. You are honorably discharged. Soldier. Major. I am your commander. Okay, so let me explain. Let me explain to you right now. Reflections. The stuff that you see. I'm telling you now, to reflections there's more than meets the eye. I see you. I believe that reflections hold the key to time. I believe that reflections in of itself holds the key to time. Time and space, I believe quantum reality. I believe that reflections, I don't know what it is, but reflections is something about reflections. There's something about a reflection. And now let me explain. I'm talking about your reflection. I'm not talking about your reflection. I am talking about, but even your reflection, it's capturing your light. It's capturing your essence. It's capturing your person, right? It's capturing your life. It's reflecting it right back at you. If your spirit is there to be seen somehow, that means that's being reflected off a mirror. Right? If it's there to be reflected, if it can be reflected, and then can it be collected? No, I don't believe that. I don't know if someone's already said that or not. I don't know. But let me say my mind. Let me talk my mind. With reflections, when you are sitting down somewhere, and you look down at the tiles, or you look at a window, when you see that reflection, when you see the light on your roof reflecting off that window, that reflection is there, but when we move your head, the reflection moves. But for that to work, that means that the reflection is both there and there at the same exact time, which means that it's always there. It always has been. You just weren't in the right place to see it yet, but it's always there, which means that the surface is fully and constantly illuminated and constantly reflecting light, being a mirror to the light. It's just sometimes you can't see it at certain angles. Right? Now, why does that happen? Why does that work? And then if this is what it means, then if you look at a video game, when you have reflections turned on, like RTX ray tracing, that takes an insane amount of computing power. Right? It takes a toll on the computer. Now, if you have the reflections always being constantly everywhere like it is in real life, and having only change when the player moves, that is going to take a huge toll on the computer's hardware. Now, we know that there are limits to our reality. Reality is limited. The graphics are limited. View distance is limited. Math is infinite. Math is infinite, but our world is not infinite. Space is not infinite. It is limited. Everything in our world, to our knowledge, is limited. It is limited. The speed of light is limited. Everything is limited. There is limits on everything, just like as if it were a video game or a simulation, right? Now, if that is the case, and if this is running on hardware, running on some sort of computer software, if it's running on something we don't understand, some form of computer, then if you think about it logically, there would be the possibility to create a lag machine. And if reflections, as I believe, are being constantly reflected all at the same time, then that would mean that, because if the reflection's always there, it's being constantly reflected. Now, if the reflection is being constantly reflected, that is taking some toll on whatever hardware the universe may be running on. So does that mean that we could create a lag machine by exploiting reflections? Or maybe a mass release of energy would disrupt something, right? I don't know. I don't know what it would take to create a lag machine, and it wouldn't have to be a lag machine for this world only. It'd have to be a lag machine that would affect the whole universe, which means you have to have some mass amount. You know that you can't zoom in all the way into nothing. It gets to a point where they call it quantum foam, because everything it's constantly shifting, moving. It's insane. So I don't know. I don't know why. I just hope someone can understand me. Why are reflections always there, but you can only see them from certain points of view? Excuse me. Why are reflections? Hello, Blue. Welcome. Why are reflections always there? It doesn't make sense. But it does make sense. It's the same thing if I say nothing is real. Nothing is real. But how do you interpret what I just said? Me saying nothing is real, I could be saying that nothing in of itself, the reality of nothing exists and it's real. Or I could be saying that everything is fake. And nothing, as in everything, exists. Nothing is real. Right? So you think about it like that, then nothing is real, and the sentence in of itself is correct, but it contradicts itself, therefore it is a paradox, because it's never ending. Because if nothing is real, then nothing is real, and nothing is real. It's just like if I say everything is fake. Well, what is everything? Everything is everything, but then I could say everything is fake. And what is fake is real, and what's real is fake. And nothing makes sense if you think of it like that, which is why you need objective truth. This right here, I'm in my hand. This Bible is objective truth. If you have this, you can know the objective truth. And again, look at the reflection. This reflection is there, but if I were to move the camera or move the book, the reflection changes, right? What is being reflected changes, but there is always on the surface. Does anyone understand me? Does somebody understand me? I need to know. I have no one to talk to about this. Literally, no one wants to talk to me about this. No one wants to hear me out. No one cares. No one understands how much it actually interests me. No one understands. No one cares for what I have to say when it comes to this. They all think, oh, shut up. You're talking nonsense. No, I'm not. Everyone would have thought that scientists are talking nonsense when they're talking about atoms. They're like, oh, there's tiny things that make up your whole body. And people are like, no, you're full of it. You are you. You are solid. You are what you are. Well, yes, it's true you are what you are, but what you are is not just what you see. There's more than meets the eye, just like with reflections. With reflections, there is more than meets the eye. Now, the reflection needs to be rendered in. Now, is the reflection just a 2D rendering, or is the reflection actually three-dimensional? And you can never know this unless you could freeze the frame. I don't know how you do this. You have to keep your body in the same place, and you have to move around it to see if it's actually three-dimensional. Now, if your reflection is a three-dimensional object, that means that if there is a mirror universe, I don't know if that exists, if a mirror shows the universe mirrored, then does that mean that you have created your own universe and it's being reflected and mirrored? And then again, it's a reflection is literally it bouncing what is there back to where it originated from, right? It's just light. It's visible light bouncing back off the surface of the mirror. Just like when you smell something, a little bit of that particle of what you're smelling has to go inside of your nose. Just came out and beginning to stop. We'll rewind it for context. So again, it is insane. It is insane. What are reflections, man? Has anyone ever thought to themselves? Please tell me yes or no. Has anyone ever thought to themselves what I have said about reflections? About how is the light here, and when I move my head, it's there. When I move my head, it's there. That means that the whole thing was being reflected already. The whole surface is illuminated by the one light. You just can't see it. But why can't you see it? Why? Someone tell me. Why? Does anyone understand what I've just said? Does anyone understand a single word I've said? Yes or no? Has anyone even thought this before? Like in this chat. Has anyone ever thought this before? I honestly have no clue. And that's the scary part. Attention span, you have attention span of a fish, but you're still listening. Buddy. Lance, I appreciate people like you so much. But what, have you ever thought about this before? Have you ever thought about that? About reflections? How do mirrors even work? But not even mirrors, light. Kind of hard to understand what you're saying. Okay, let me phrase it like this. You are sitting down. The floor is reflective. There is a light in a fixed location above you. So, reflective surface, you sitting down, the light above reflecting off this surface in a fixed location. You only see the light in one location there, on the reflective surface. You move your head, the reflection moves with you. The floor didn't move. The fixed light in the fixed position did not move. Your eyes moved. You moved. And the light appears to have moved with you. But if you go back to the location, the light is still there. Which means that that light is actually constantly reflecting off every single angle of the surface. So the whole surface is illuminated by the light. But you only see it from where you are at. But that means that the light is constantly existing there, but you can't see it. So there's more than meets the eye. That's what I'm saying. How does that work? And the fact that the whole world is limited, that there are limits to this world, proves that it is a simulation. Because mathematics in of itself is infinite. Hello, Blunt Dude. Welcome back to the live stream. Owen, manager, welcome back. Rewind the live stream about 3 minutes and listen to everything I said. Rewind the live stream 3 minutes and listen to what I said. And maybe you'll understand. Maybe. I was just checking out my window and I heard something. But reflections, guys. Contemplating perception. I'm not contemplating. I am contemplating perception. But I'm not just contemplating perception in of itself. I'm asking a harder question. But a simpler question. Is the light being reflected constantly off every single angle? That's the first question. If yes, then why can't I see it? Everywhere from one position. If no, then why does the light move when I move? And not when someone else moves? That's what you have to think about. Why does the light's reflection on the floor only appear to move when you move and not when someone else moves? What that means is that the light itself is everywhere at once, being reflected at once. But then you have to question. Does that mean that the fixed light that is right above you, does that mean that it's actually not fixed there in reality? Well, if you close your eyes, the light is still there. That's got nothing to do with it. Owen says that you said that what is this conversation about? I'm confused because all I hear is reflections. Okay, so the question is, this is a question and you guys have to study up on this and answer it. No, it means that you're the one moving, not your friend moving. I know. So then what that means is that the light is constantly reflecting off every single angle. The whole surface is reflecting the light. Right? So if you were to take I guess a panorama image, that's why panorama images capture light everywhere if you move the camera, right? But like what I'm trying to say is this. The whole surface is being illuminated by the one single fixed light. Now when you move, the light on the reflective surface appears to have moved with you, but it hasn't. It's always been where you've seen it. Which means that it's still in the same place as where you saw it the first time. But you can't see it from that position because you're not at the right angle to see it. But it's still there. For you, it's 2:30 a.m., go to sleep. For me, it's 5:29 p.m. in the afternoon. If it's 2 a.m., bro, you go to sleep. But does anyone grasp what I'm trying to ask? I need to understand. Owen. T. Blue. Any of you guys? Yo, Blunt Dude, welcome. I'm just asking questions, man. Some serious life questions. It's like the fact is, everyone's going to die one day. And people don't, I don't know, some people don't think about that. They don't realize that, yeah, you're going to die one day. What happens after death? Who knows, right? It's right here in this book. What happens after death? It's like a little Easter egg. You know what's funny? There is a Bible, at least it used to be. There used to be a Bible in every single drawer in every single hotel room. I think it's the Gideon Bible. But anyways, There is a Bible in every single hotel room. I'll say it as if it still exists like that, right? Now, it's just like how in a game, when you start off in a game, usually there is a tutorial book, a guidebook in your pocket. So it's kind of crazy. So if I was a game creator and I created a universe, I created a world, I created a simulation, I would also leave an Easter egg like that. And at the end of the day, the world is, in some way or another, whether they be God, aliens, or nothing at all, in some way or another, even if it was a Big Bang that was created by nothing, which is the absence of everything, which cannot exist and has never existed, because of the third law of thermodynamic states, or the first law, actually, of thermodynamic states, that no energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form to another. So energy has always existed. But how does that even work? And that's the whole reason why they created CERN, why CERN created has the Big Hadron Collider particle accelerator, because they want to see what created everything at the start. But then you got to question, why is CERN doing these strange opening ceremonies, and why do they have the god of destruction, Shiva? Why do they have Shiva at the front of CERN? And why did they dance around parading in a goat head with a pentagram and with goat skins? Why would they do that if it's just for science? And why would they build it in a place where the temple of Apollyon was? Why would they build that in that location? And why would they constantly hold these quote-unquote artistic ceremonies? My best friend Cyrus, welcome back. Welcome back. Rewind the live stream about 10 minutes to understand, get the context, and then fast forward straight back. To device people, Shiva, he is a deceiver. You mean deceiver? Now let me go back to what I'm saying. Yo, bro, welcome. You should rewind the live stream 10 minutes to... not 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Rewind the live stream 5 minutes to understand what I'm talking about. You all know what's crazy? What's crazy is that... Okay, Cyrus, listen to what I'm going to say. This is what I'm talking about. Let me ask you a question about reflections. And I want to know if you've ever thought this before. If you are you're sitting on a chair, there is a light above you in a fixed position. It does not move. The light does not move. The light stays in the one location above you. You're sitting in a chair. The light is being reflected off the floor. You see the reflection. You move your head. The reflection, the light in the reflection appears to move. But the light fixed to the roof does not move. But it appears to be moving in the reflection because you're moving. Now that light on the floor, it's still reflecting in the same spot from where you were sitting in the first place. But it appears to have moved because you have moved. But the reason I'm asking this question is that would mean that the whole surface of the floor... So if you're sitting in a fixed location and there's a light above you in a fixed location, when you move your head, the reflection of the light on the ground appears to move with you. But it didn't move. The reflection is still reflecting from the same point in which you saw it first. But that would mean that the light would have to be reflecting equally from every single angle on the floor, or whatever reflective surface is reflecting. Right? So, the light is always there, you just can't see it, right? But that means that it's constantly being rendered in. It's constantly rendered in. But you see the same reflection in a different location to where someone else would see a location standing somewhere else in the room. Now, if the reflection is not in every place at once, then that means that the reflection is moving based on you and your perception. But if the reflection is moving, if the light in the reflection is moving because you're moving and it's not being reflected everywhere at once, that means that the light is tracking you or you're tracking the light. I don't understand what that means either. So how does it even work? Why does it even work like that? And then reality in of itself is limited. Shadows, no. Shadows have nothing to do with this. That was what I was saying. So, Cyrus, do you understand what I was saying now? Or do you at least understand the question? Do you understand why I've said it? You don't have to understand the meaning. Just understand what I said. Did you hear everything, every word? Just so you know, I'm on 4 hours of sleep here. So, if anything I'm saying does not make sense and is not fully coherent, I apologize in advance. To the best of my knowledge, these words and these sentences that I have spoken are completely and 100% coherent, and they are reasonable questions. It's just like if I were to say nothing is real, I'm not wrong. You heard, but you were confused the whole time. I'm going to have to load up a Minecraft world to give you guys a visual representation of what I mean. I'm going to open up a Minecraft world. I'm going to open up a Minecraft world. I'm going to open up a Minecraft creative world. And I'm going to give you guys a visual representation of what I mean. I might lag because my Minecraft is updating. My Minecraft launcher is updating, so I might be lagging. But I'm going to give you a visual representation to the best of my abilities as to what I'm talking about. And while I do that, while my Minecraft launcher loads in, is updating, I might as well grab this to preoccupy my mind and keep my mind fresh. Here was the sound as experimenting. The new sound that you're looking for. Okay, Minecraft, play. Okay, time to give you a visual representation. My Minecraft game is loading in. Time to give you a visual representation to the best of my abilities as I can. I could have done it in Microsoft Paint. For a second, I thought my computer turned off. That was going to be a little scary. Create new world. Creative, peaceful, allow commands. World, super flat. We'll call this one the reflection theory. The reflection theory, take 1. Take 1.0. There we go. Create new world. Okay. Why tab in and out of my game, it lags. That's crazy. Okay, now let me... oh, this is messed up. This is broken. I gotta fix this. Alright, we'll do this, but we'll go... wait a minute. Let me add game, add source. Alright, this is strange. Tabbing in and out is really laggy for me. Alright, so you guys see this, but now you don't see me. So let me quickly put this down there. Okay. Alright, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can... I'll use wool. I'll use these 3 blocks. And I'll use buttons. Okay, so look at this. You ready? So let's make the reflective surface. Okay. Now, there are no reflections in this game, but that's okay. We'll use our imagination. Alright, wait a second. I need to buy a second one. It'll cost money, but it's fine. Alright, so look, you ready? This, we'll put this here. Alright, so I'll build the roof as well. Let's pretend this is the roof. It's not a very good looking roof. I couldn't care to use commands, but let's just pretend there's a roof over the whole thing. Alright. This red bit of terracotta, that is a light. Can everybody see the game? Can you all see the game? One in chat if you can see the game. One in chat if you can see the game. Hurry up. One in chat if you can see the game. Alright. Okay. So, this is the light in the fixed position. And let's just position A. This is a light being reflected from this position. But in there is another reflection here and not here. Now, over here. We want the reflection has to be there. Okay? So straight. We're looking straight. Okay? This is where the reflection is. Now, when I do say position, when I look at this light, when I look at where it's reflecting, it'll be up. That's probably not exactly accurate, but that's where it will be reflected. Position A, not here. But for me, the light is a different location, at least to my but right. Third. He looks at the light. He sees it reflecting right. Now who's right? The reflection only exists. It can't be right. What I mean is that the reflection is ever is actually every position. Why don't we see the whole floor by the light? Why don't we see the light in the whole floor? Why? If it is being constantly reflected, all at the same time. This was a game, the reflection turned, and it was reflecting everywhere at once, and based on where you were. Everywhere, choosing to show it to you. The light should look like, right? Looks like the light in determined by your position relative to where the fixed light is. Now the light is still fixed. The light appears to move with you. Moving. But it is move. It appears to move, but it is not moving. It's interesting. Lag? We're never gonna understand now. My guy, you're lagging. Your whole live stream is lagging. Oh my gosh. Such a waste of time. What is this? Skipped frame, skip frame, skip frame. Who's downloading? Who is downloading GTA 6? Who is downloading GTA 6 on my live stream? Who? Who's downloading GTA 6? Who is it? Somebody must be downloading GTA 6. Let me go to options, video settings. Let's turn that down to 16. Keep that. Apply. This should fix. This should fix it. Anything I'm saying. Okay, let me try it again. I'm just gonna do a little. Guys, is it lagging? Yes or no? This is why I need another screen. It's still lagging. What do you mean? So this is right now. It should be my inventory. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is annoying. This is stupid. You see it now. Okay. So this wall, this terracotta is so this is the light to the roof. All right. Now, light appears. Does everyone agree to that? Oh my gosh, I hate this game. I can't with the game, man. The game just no. This game is disgusting. That game is disgusting. My ear was itching. That game is annoying. All right, what am I gonna do? The knowledge clearly isn't meant for us. I'm making it for you. I'm gonna make it for you. Here we go. Good old pen and paper. I nearly dropped a screw off my desk. And don't worry why I have screws on my desk. There's a reason for everything. Alright, maybe I'm making something. Okay. Paper. Good old paper. Alright? Every time I start explaining, you lag really bad. God, I don't know if this is you, but if it is, Lord, please let me talk to these people. Okay. So, let's go right here. Okay, you ready, my beloved children? My children, I love you very much. Now look, this is... Just make sure I'm getting a good angle on my jawline. Make sure I look like a double check. Nah, I don't care. Alright, so this is the fixed light. This is the light bulb. Alright, this is a light bulb attached to the roof. Okay. This... I don't know why it looks like a Taco Bell logo, but it's fine. This... That is a light. Alright, guys, you see it? That is a light fixed to the roof. Now, this will say, this line represents the floor. Okay? This, now I'm trying to explain the three-dimensional with a two-dimensional thing. Let me see if I can zoom in on this for you. Okay. This is the floor, the reflective surface. And this is the light. And this is you. We'll draw a stick man. In location 1. Now he is looking at the floor. He's looking at the light's reflection. Now to him, because if we do the math, it should, the light would be bouncing off there and going into his eyes, into his retinas, going into his optical nerve going to the cerebral cortex and interpret as light, as image. Now this is where it appears to be on the floor for him, right? So the light in the fixed location, him in the fixed location, the light is bouncing off the floor, reflecting into his eyes from this location. So the light appears to be here on the floor, right there. This is this light on the floor, the reflection, right? Now we get another person. We'll do this person. This is person number 2. And he has longer legs. And he stands cool with an attitude because he is cool. And let's give him shades as well. Here's shades, and let's give him a mohawk. All right. And he has a mohawk, and because he's a cool guy, because he actually questions this stuff. All right. So now he is looking at the light's reflection on the floor. Now, relative to his position and to where the floor is at, the light appears to be here for him. Right? So for him, the light is here. The reflection of the light is here. But for this man, for Mr. we'll call him A, for A, the reflection is here. But the light is here. The light is in the same place for both men, but the reflection changes based upon where they stand. So for A, the reflection is here, and for B, the reflection is here. Now let's stop calling it the reflection, and let's call it what it is. It's the light. The light is here for him. The light is here for him. Now which one of them is correct? Where is the light actually on the floor? Someone answer the question. Where is the light actually on the floor? We'll call this lesson 1. Neither of them were right. Who's correct? Where is the light? Which one of them is correct? Which one of them is correct? Somebody, please. I'm waiting for someone in the chat because everyone needs to think about this. So until everyone gives an answer, I'm not moving forward. Which one is correct? It's a question, so we'll put a question mark. Which one is correct? Blue number 1 FM, he surmises that none are correct. Both of them are right. I don't know. Now, if both of them are correct, that means that this single light, it exists in at least 2 different places at once. In the reflection. This light exists in 2 different places, all at once. Okay, so you say a light is everywhere in its own radius, which means that the light not only is a light reflecting here and here, they're both correct. The light is reflecting off the whole surface of the floor. The whole floor is reflecting the light, right? So if the whole floor is reflecting the light, why do you only see it in one position at a time? What governs that? What makes that so? What determines that? Why do you only see it in one place at a time? Why can't you see it how it is? Because my eyes tell me that the light's here, but your eyes tell you the light's there. Who's correct? Because we only see so much with our eyes. But do you see why I'm questioning this? When you move, the whole reflection of reality moves with you. But that means that for every single person, there needs to be a completely different reflection, a completely different view of the same thing. The same thing looks completely different to every single person. The same thing is never exactly the same. So the same thing does not exist. So everyone's life, everyone's view on anything, it will never be the same. It doesn't matter how close you are to being in the same position. Where you see the light is not where you see the light. You see it not how it is. And then that would mean that it's being constantly rendered in at the same time. It's rendered in everywhere, and you only get to see where it is determined on where you are. What algorithm, I'll call it an algorithm because we've already determined that we live in a simulation. Why do we live in a simulation? We live in a simulation simply for the fact that there are limits to this world. Mathematically speaking, math is infinite, but this world is not. The universe is not infinite. The speed of light is not infinite. It's finite. Space is finite. The expansion of the universe is set. It's been created. If it's been created, it is a simulation. And even if we are advanced and we have free will, it's still a simulation, right? So where are we? Where are we really? And if you look at movies like The Matrix, they're trying to tell us something, but what do they know that we don't? And why is it so rooted in biblical text? Their ideas, the whole idea, how they have everything like, they had the Babylon. What do they have? They had something, some stupid thing. Neo, they had Morpheus, Neo, and Trinity. 3? Seriously? They had agents trying to stop Neo, stop the truth, keep people blind. So why is the reflection different for everyone? Through the reflection, what is there? You know what's funny? If you see the light from here, that means that the light will also see you. Whatever you're seeing, the reflection sees you in the same position that you see it. It's just like how you can put your phone on a mirror, you can draw a line around it, and you can walk as far back as you can, you can walk as far back as you possibly could. And the phone would still fit inside of that square you drew. Someone explain. Someone explain to me. Because I don't understand it. I think I understand it, but do I? I don't know. It's all stupid, it's all dumb, but it's all real and it's all fake. None of it makes sense, but it all makes sense at the same time. Nothing is real. Which means everything is real. It means that the absence of everything exists, but also means that everything is absence. If you ask me, is nothing real? If I say nothing is real, I'm saying it doesn't exist, but it exists at the same time. Which is why nothing can't exist. Nothing has ever existed. It never has ever existed. There's never been a moment in time. There's never been a moment in the time of our universe where the universe did not exist. Which means that the universe was created. Now, just because I give you a question you can't answer doesn't mean that my answer is correct or the true one. But you have to think, right? And this is why I, like, these are the questions I ask myself every day. This is just scratching the surface of what goes on in my mind. So I don't know. And the reason why I did a live stream with this is because I want to know if anyone understands me. Has anyone ever thought about this before in their life? Or am I the first one to have ever questioned it? Am I the first one to have ever brought it to your realization? This question to your realization? And why has no one ever questioned it? When a child asks his mother, "Mom, why is the sky blue?" Telling the child the sky is blue just because it is, that's not a proper answer. You didn't answer the child's question. You silenced the child. You silenced the curiosity of the child. Realistically speaking, why is the sky blue? Why is it not red? Why is it not purple? Why is it not green? How you see blue could be completely different to how someone else sees blue, and you'll never know. There is no way to know that what I see as red is the same thing that you see as red. So the sky is blue because it reflects the water. And again, does that mean that the sky is a reflective surface? And if the sky is a reflective surface, does that mean that the sky is solid? What gives something the ability to reflect light? It has to be solid. Air doesn't reflect anything. An air molecule does not reflect anything. So that means that if it's reflecting water, but then why is the water blue? Why is water blue? Oh, the water's blue because it's reflecting the sky. So what they're really telling us is they don't know why it's blue. They don't know why anything is anything. They don't understand anything. All they understand is that they understand what they don't understand. If you can narrow things down to, okay, well, I don't understand this, I don't understand that, then you know that the absence of what you don't understand is what you understand. I wonder if this seems like, oh, this guy... Look, to people who don't understand me, they're thinking, oh, this guy's just dumb. What he's saying is stupidity. But to someone who questions it, like, this guy's a genius. This guy is a real futurist of our times. But yeah, it's stupid, but it's not. It's intelligent. It is genius. What I've said is genius. I guarantee you that there will be some stupid discovery about reflective surfaces and quantum theory. There will be something about quantum science and something about mirrors. I guarantee it. I guarantee mirrors hold... Mirrors? Barometric pressure? And the electromagnetic activity in the atmosphere? I guarantee you they relate to something important with quantum mechanics. And if atoms are made of light, what is light made of? If atoms are made of light, that means that light is solid. But if light is solid, why can't you catch light? But isn't that exactly what a mirror is doing? A mirror is catching light, so the light is bouncing off it. Aerovista, welcome. So, the fact that mirrors exist and mirrors reflect light, it means that light is solid. Just like it reflects you when you are solid. W, Aerovista. So does anyone here understand what I'm saying? Or is this just completely flying over y'all's head? There is no interaction with the chat right now. The chat is not interacting with me. I am attempting my best to reach out to you guys and help you understand. But none of you guys are responding. I don't know if any of you guys are listening. You're deep in thought because I'm making you think about something that no one's ever questioned. Curiosity and questioning things and studying things, that is the soul, that is the spirit of science. That is the spirit of science, scientific revolution, and scientific discovery. Why does the reflection change based on where you move? When you look at a reflective surface and you move your head, you see different. You see something different. Just like when you look out a window, you move your head, you see a different view. You see more. Feed me. So when you see when you see more light. Nothing. I don't think reflection changes the perception. Yeah, just like how what is blocked by the wall is always there, right? Now a mirror is a window to seeing. then what is the wall? The wall is the reality that surrounds it. Mirrors just reflect the light that bounced off of you and it hit your eyes. Okay, but for something to be reflected, it needs to be solid. Now, if atoms are made of light, and light is made of atoms, because everything's made of atoms. So if everything is made of atoms, that means that light is also made of atoms, which means that light is real. But then if light, the speed of light, is one of the fastest things known to man, then does that mean that light is alive and constantly moving and flowing around us? But light can't be everywhere at once, because there's a speed to light, which means that light in of itself is not constant. If there's a speed to light, if the speed of light can be measured, that means that light is not constant. And if you had a camera with a fast enough frame rate, you could capture light reflecting back and forth, which means that light is solid. And everything down to its core is reflective. Everything that is solid, everything is a reflective surface. Everything is a reflective surface, which means everything is light. So is there a way you could create heavy light? And then does light have a measurable weight? Why does light even illuminate anything? And why does color change based on the pressure of the water? I have so many questions, and there's only one man who can answer these questions. It's not Donald Trump. It's only Jesus Christ. Light is a dual nature, particles and waves. Too many questions at a time. Well, answer one question. Is the light reflecting off of the surface in every single area constantly? But I just answered the question. I'm going to write this down. Light cannot be everywhere at once. Light, or the reflection of light, cannot be there constantly. There is a moment in time where there is absence of light. The speed of light, proves, no, the speed of light, the fact that there's a speed of light, I would say the speed of light proves that light is constantly moving. So speed of light, so it's constantly moving, which means it can't always be there. Therefore, the light in a reflection is not constant. There you go. Light can be reflected and refracted. Refraction equals bending of light. Reflection and reflection both can happen through glass. Yeah, it could. But light in of itself can be measured. There's a speed of light. Excuse me. So if a reflection is light bouncing off a surface, that means that's happening only at the speed of light, which means that there is a moment in time when it is not being reflected, which means that light is not reflecting off the surface entirely. It's not always constantly reflecting. So, then what is it? That is indeed true, but until light reaches and then starts to reflect. But how do we know that? Because light, the speed of light is measured. The speed of light can be measured. And the fact that the speed of light can be measured means that light is moving. And that means that light is solid. When something moves faster than the speed of sound, we get sonic booms. What happens if something moves faster than the speed of light? It can't be seen. What happens? Does reality shatter? Because you can see when something moves faster than the speed of sound, you can see it manipulate the molecules of air around it. You can see sound trying to catch up. So if you have something moving faster than the speed of light, well, under sciencey terms, we cannot go faster than light. But how can that be true? If we cannot go faster than the speed of light, that means that light speed is the limit. And if there is a limit, who put the limit there? Because mathematically, math is infinite. Why is the speed of light finite? Yeah, exactly. So if something moved faster than the speed of light, it can't be seen. And it definitely can't be heard until later. So if something were to move faster than the speed of light, what would happen? Would reality distort? Would you see some strange phenomenon? God decided limit, but I don't know why. And then another question is why do bubbles form in water when you breathe underwater? Why do bubbles form in spheres? Why do bubbles form in spheres? And when you get down to the very, very finest of matter that you can get to, what is its original shape? What is the original shape of matter? Is it a sphere? And spheres are, because nature loves stability, and spheres are extremely stable. Okay, so if spheres are extremely stable, and the bubble takes the stablest form. Okay, so the bubble takes the most stablest form, which means that the fact that bubbles exist as spheres, that would prove that the Earth is a sphere. But then you have to ask yourself, is the gap? Do you exist on the surface? Does the air exist on the surface of the bubble, outside of the bubble? No. It exists on the inside of the bubble. So is the Earth, are we inside the Earth? Is the Earth concaved and not convexed? I don't believe that. I believe that the Earth is convex and we're on the surface of the Earth, not the inside of the Earth, right? But again, why? It takes a sphere because it's most stable, apparently. That is the answer we have achieved, that we have come to. But why? True, but then the poles are rather flatter, so it's geoid. Why is it geoid? Now, balls are caused by excess pressure, where there's forced extra pressure inside greater than the outside pressure, which makes it puff up in the first place. So it's all because of a difference in pressure. A difference in pressure and a difference in, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess density. Is density the right word I'm thinking of here? Like, why does oil sit on top of water? That's the word I'm looking for. The reason. That's the word I'm looking for. So why? Nice roll on my wire. So none of this makes sense, but it all makes sense at the same exact time. And the surface tension in the soap solution holds the expressor in like a membrane. But I guess we'll just go back to pretending like I never said any of this. Anyway, so I bought new jeans. You'll like my new jeans. You can't see them. You can't see my jeans. But that's fine. But everything you are enjoying, you don't even understand. And how can you enjoy something that you don't understand? And that's why I say I wish I was like you, easily amused. Snowflakes are hexagonal and hexagons also very stable. But no snowflake, if you look at an individual snowflake under a microscope, no snowflake is ever the same. It is always different. And if it's always different, it's not true pure chaos. Which means that there is design, there is control, there is purpose in everything. There's a reason that not every snowflake is the same. That's just entropy doing its thing. It's just random, right? Because of entropy. I suppose entropy is the randomness of everything, although what is entropy again? Your camera is still zoomed in. I don't mind it being zoomed in. I'm a handsome guy. You guys should enjoy the view while you still have it. I'm sorry for saying that. You know, one guy told me that I look like the main character from Stranger Things, and that was, I knew the guy was just trolling me, so I just took it as a compliment. Entropy is a measure of molecular disorder, randomness, or the unavailability of energy to do work within a closed system. Entropy equals degree of randomness. Okay, so even there is a degree to randomness. So it's not random completely. Can entropy be measured? If entropy can be measured, it's not random. If light can be measured, that means that a surface reflecting light, it can't be constantly reflecting it. No matter how you look at it, it's not constantly reflecting. Which means that you aren't constantly seeing. Dude, there's like 20 main characters. Change in it can be. Here's no try. Only do or do not. My camera is on 1% battery life, so I'm just going to stare at the camera until it freezes, so you get a cool frame. There's your cool frame right there. Somebody screenshot that. We'll take the chat down just for you. You can screenshot that. You can set that as your background. That's your background right there. I just gave you all a beautiful background for free. It's a full HD background. You guys can save that. Have as your background. You can edit it, make it cool. You can gray it out, make a quote. Save as cool, perfect timing. Boom. There you go. There's a background right for you guys. Just look at that. Now, it's been an hour and 4 minutes, so... But I think it's before the fall of man, entropy was constant. Who knows? Who knows? And then sin grew and grew, so did entropy. So the more sin in the world is the more entropy, and is that why Does that explain the Epstein files, and does that explain the evil people in the world, the elites who do like evil things you can't imagine? Are they trying to increase entropy? Are they trying to exploit the universe? Are they trying to create a glitch? Are they trying to create a lag machine? If you could possibly make a lag machine, the best way to do it would be a massive release of energy within a reflective dome, a reflective sphere. So you have light reflecting everywhere inside of a dome with an extreme amount of light being shut out inside of it somehow, controlled in a controlled way. That would most likely freeze time. And then if you can get this thing from being giant and you can get it being small, you would need less light to be released to slow down the time in the area. But how would that affect anything? I don't know. What about nuclear fusion? Nuclear fusion has to be the only way you could get enough energy, right? Maybe nuclear fusion, maybe you could make some sort of core that distorts gravity around it. And maybe instead of moving through space and time, you just move space-time around you. Is that not time travel? If you can move space-time around you, manipulate space-time around you, instead of you moving through space-time, you make space-time move around you. That means that space-time is not an immovable object. It is not an unstoppable force. If everything is an episode with seasons, can you not hit rewind? What is deja vu? And if entropy is constantly growing, does it get to a point where entropy... Didn't the Epstein files talk about time travel? Yes, the Epstein files did talk about time travel. They also talked about their quantum computing technology. This is in regards to changing reality, to changing someone's phone number to being the phone number of a business. They're saying their quantum computing technology is 2 billion times more efficient than their black magic occult BS. So yes, the Epstein files did talk about time travel. The Epstein files talked about a disgusting amount of high-ranking people in this world partaking in disgusting acts. They're disgusting pedophiles. And they won't take them down. They won't prosecute them. Because if they did that, they'd have to redo the whole system. That's what they said. Disgusting. Privacy is not the problem. But everything done in secret shall come to light. Everything done in darkness will come to light. That's what the Bible promised. And that's what is happening. The world leaders are being exposed, but nothing's happening to them because they're all in on it. It's just like Star Wars. Predictive programming, my friends. It's just like Star Wars. Two sides to the same coin. It's only worth $1. But anyway, guys, that's going to be in a live stream. Remember, I love you. Do you think they know how and actively travel through time? Well, time travel you'd only be able to travel back in time to where the time machine was first created. So if I create a time machine now, I can only travel into the future and into the past where I had created a time machine. You wouldn't be able to go past the time machine's existence. But then if you think about it realistically, time is just a way we measure things. But being able to travel through time is not real, it's just space. Now, anyways, guys, I love you. But always remember, I love you guys so much, but Jesus Christ will always love you more. Now,